How's it going, internets? I hope you're having a lovely day. It's that time again. It's time to get into some animation, time to get that imagination all revved up, get into some creativity. It's time to get inspired. And today's inspiration comes from James Harren. And if you're not familiar with his work, check right over here. He is a phenomenal artist. I completely and utterly love his style. I think he's just a wonderful, wonderful talent. So let's take a look at some of his stuff. This piece is one of my favorites. I love everything about it. I think the inking is gorgeous. The color is just that, the way that I like it, where it's not too bright and kind of those muted colors, but you've really got some nice reds that he really pumps in there that are just really, really saturated. That's really nice. And then you've got this cool idea with these heads on the sword. I don't know that I've seen something exactly like that, and they're each at a different angle with a different expression. Just so much about this. I think it's just wonderful. Another one here. I love his sense of anatomy, where he really kind of pushes it. You can tell that he knows what he's doing, but he definitely can does that simplify and exaggerate style, where some things are a little toned down and some things are a little bit over the top. Just a wonderful style. So I urge you guys to check out more stuff from him. I mean, check out this. This is great. Those hand poses there. Just a wonderful piece, and that expression's really exaggerated and wonderful. Look at these eyes on this character. Just gorgeous, gorgeous stuff. I like this one too. I think on this one I like the color most. I mean, the characters are really cool. The way that these arms are built up are really unique and interesting, but I think the colors themselves with these, the mixing of the blue and the orange or yellowish colors really works well. Give that dark, ominous forest with just a little bit of lighting coming from here. It's really well done. So I urge you guys to check out more stuff from him. I think he's a phenomenal talent, and I know for myself I'm going to be looking more into him as well, because I've come to the point where I love almost everything that I've seen that he's made. But I did want to share a quote that I was able to find from him, and he said, "All my best innovations have come from me failing and up." I just try to censor stuff just in case there's younger kids that watch this, but I think that's totally true. I know that for me it's been those hours of failing and failing and failing and failing until you know how not to do it, and then you can learn how to do it once you get past that stage. And I think that's kind of a large portion of why I do these videos each and every day, is to show you guys that, you know, not everything is successful and not everything's a failure either. It's a process, it's a journey, it's about taking another step, it's about carving out some of your day to work on your dreams together, and I hope that you guys do that. So let's go ahead and get into some animation for the day. Continuing on with our skirmish. It's going to be still another few days as we polish this thing up, but I think we're kind of past this middle portion for right now. Let's work on kind of this jump and attack a little bit better. We'll work on pushing that, I think. Today, this is the Goon rig. It's from the How to Cheat in Maya series. Pretty low cost of entry. If you guys want to grab the book and a copy of this rig, there will be links in the description down below. And we are using Autodesk Maya 2014 for today's video. For more information on that and all the stuff we've talked about so far, check out all the stuff down below as well. If you want to send me a message on Twitter or follow me on Facebook or any of that kind of stuff, that's all down below as well. So without further ado, without me rambling too much, let's start playing around. Alright, so like I said, I think for today I want to work on this character on the, making sure I'm pointing in the right direction here, on the far side here on what would be screen left, and do the try and polish out this movement here a little bit more, because I feel like the landing is not very wonderful, and also we can probably push that a little bit more. So let's turn our NURB curves on and turn all our controllers back on. And we'll go ahead and save our file. Remember, it's always good to save multiple versions and to save often, just in case you want to revert back to an earlier version, or to hopefully alleviate any problems that you might have later on here. Sorry, I have a little bit of a cough today, so if you see little cuts in here, just so that I'm not coughing into the stream here. So first thing I want to do is I want to push this foot here. So let's push the ball roll a little bit more and the toe a little bit there. Actually, let's do a little bit of rotate X here too to try and get that move a little bit more blended there. A little bit more forward and a little more up. Get a little less rotate. Alright, that feels good, so I'll set that one. We'll go ahead and lead here. So I'll go ahead and take that and get it landing one frame sooner and get that heel roll up and then plant it down. Actually, maybe we'll let it go there and delete that one. Nah, I'll have it lead. I think silhouette wise it'll be better to have it land this way. So let's check the arc on this foot and see how that's going. See, that's a big pop right there. So I'll set that one. We'll go ahead and delete that. And raise it up a little bit more. And still drag it back a little bit more here too. And let's look at our translate Y's there. Make sure that's still working. And I think we'll keep it up a little bit more here. And maybe push it forward. Let's bring it back still. Maybe a little bit further down. And look at the translate Z. Try to polish that up a little bit more. And let's look at that heel roll here. It's still fine there. Kind of want the rotate X to be maybe a little bit higher here. Maybe this should be a little bit higher there. Just trying to look at the arc of how that foot moves. And this could probably be a little bit higher there too. A little bit more in the middle. Okay, and again, let's set our frame range so we're just looking at the right frames here, which would be pretty much 61 to 88. That's kind of where I want to look here. hips here. And try and polish that curve out a little bit more. I think this could be a little bit more over there. Into there a little bit. And probably even one more frame it could go over. Translate Y. Should eventually hit about here, but we'd want to overshoot it down a little bit more. Then go back down again. Maybe we could raise that up just a little bit more universally. So it skips up, and then down, and then attacks. So you get that little bit. See the hip here is what we're really looking at. It dips down and up, and then settles. And then attacks. Let's look at the other foot here. It's going to leave it on the ground one more frame. Maybe one more frame after that. Get it there. We'll go ahead and delete this one. Get it up a little bit higher here. Translate Y. And I think I might want that to actually land flat. If I even did just a little bit of heel roll there, so it landed on the heel of the foot. Flat it out here, keep the bar roll there, and then do a little bit more so you get a little bit of rock there, and then let it hit at that extreme a little bit sooner. Maybe one frame sooner than that. So you get a little bit of rock on that foot. Do you think the rotate X could probably be a little bit further? Let's look at this again. I think we could key the rotate X here and probably delete the one right before it. Just feels like this is a little too far pushed. So let's go somewhere more like that. Try and polish out that curve a little bit more. And let's look here as well. The the rotate X is. Which frame did we do that on here? Right there. Okay. So I know I like the rotate X's here, so I'll key those. I think they're fine there. I'll delete the one right in front of it. This is too soon, so I'll get rid of this. And we'll eventually hit here. I think we could go one more frame over there. Let's look at that now. Okay. Do you think the translate Y could be a little bit higher here? I think it kind of drops off. So maybe we'll just take this and make that a little bit higher overall. And maybe the translate Z could be a little bit more over here, just a little bit. Trying to look at the arc of everything, see if it still moves fairly. Do you think that this should be a little bit more over still? Maybe this one could be back just a little bit. To look at this knee there. Maybe we can land the foot so it's more splayed out here. Maybe that'll help us. Knee in. How are we going to do that? I think we want this to be more like that. The knee twist would be down here. We just need to rethink how we're going to retool that. Maybe we'll pivot that foot and then even have it land a little bit further back, kind of like that. That's a little bit stronger. Okay, I think that's a little bit cleaner of a pose too. Okay, so I think that'll be where we contact then. So we've got this one, and then we want it to land there, so I'll delete this. down on the ground 1 frame sooner though. Go ahead and key where it's at there, delete this one. Maybe we'll drop it down even before that. And maybe we'll do the rock so it's flat on the ground or close to it. Again, we'll probably push that even closer 1 frame sooner. Maybe we'll keep it up still. Here. I think this should be maybe we'll do 1 frame later. So I don't want it to hit at the same time as the other foot here. This one. And lift it up still so it can hit down harder. And let it be a little bit further back so it can still have a little bit of arc to it. And this one we'll have it go here, rotate it down so it'll be dragging here. I'll go ahead and delete this, delete that one. I do want this one to be higher here. And keep those rock and pivots next to nothing for right now. Let's see it now. Okay, now remember, let's do a play blast and see how it's working. Okay, now obviously we need to clean up how we're gonna attack that foot because we've got that little stutter in there from where we moved it, but I think the movement of that jump has a decent arc to it. We've got a little bit of variation in our timing, and yeah, I think that works. And we've got decent arc working, got our weight going, you get a little bit of a recoil on the landing. So I think that'll work for now. Again, it's not perfect polished paths right now, we're just kind of trying to build everything. So what we need to worry about now is getting this foot into that position there. Which it needs to be by about 86. So maybe by 85, we'll bring it there. we'll still try to do a little bit of rock here. And rotate there. Ball roll. Just trying to think about that knee, how that knee's going to work here for us. Let's get that ball roll down a little bit more. Alright, let's try that again. I know we like this one, and I know we'll need it there at 88. So we need where it is at 88 to hit at 85 so that we can get that weight working there. We still have this issue with the knee. Now I think we're not fully planted on the ground also. Make sure we are. So maybe what we can do is some rotate Y. We can kind of do a little bit of pivot on the heel. See if we can still do a little bit of ball rock there, or pivot there. Do it on the toe. I think we need to have that still flat on the ground though. So again, we'd want to do some ball roll there. Ball roll here. The knee twist would need to still be there. So we get that little bit of pivot on that foot. Let's see if it plays okay. Again, it's pretty quick, but I don't want to cheat too much. I still want the body mechanics to be workable. Okay, so let's do a little play blast again and see if that works a lot. Alright, I think that works. We've got that little bit of scoot on the foot and then the pivot on there, which works. Now we need to get that other hand working a little bit better, I think. Because it pops a lot, so let's look at that again. Let's go ahead and save our file. While we're thinking about it, I think we got some fairly good stuff working there, a little bit better. And let's start looking at this hand and this arm here. So we've got it. Got it here. Let's see where we're at. I've got it here. I think it works fine. Maybe a little bit more drag. And a little bit in that hand too. And get that shoulder up a little bit. It's a little more interesting. So I'll go ahead and set that. Got this. Go and delete that. maybe I should get that hand over again. Do a quick FK-IK switch. So keep it about here. Keep that here. We'll switch it again. Bring that over. Just so I can plant it on the ground to help, because this pose was nigh impossible without getting some balance from the other hand here. The elbow twist down. The hand over here. And look at the hand pose. Flatten that out here again. Got a lot of FK-IK switches in this poor guy over here. It's gonna be fun if we ever try to retime anything, that's for sure. But we'll figure it out. We'll make it work. But I think this is important, because otherwise this pose, especially from any other angle that we're looking at, it just doesn't work without getting this hand planted on there. The body mechanics is too broken without it. And sometimes you can cheat stuff to camera, but it's a better way to do it if you can try and get your body mechanics to work from all perspectives and just enhance the view in whatever camera you're shooting at. Let's bring that up, flat that out again. Alright, not perfect, but a little bit better. See, that's a much more stable and balanced pose there. So we've got this here. Hold on a second here. Alright, sorry about that. Where were we? I think we were looking at this hand planting on the ground here. So that'll work there. And then we could go here. So I'll keep hand there till one frame before that. So bring that back to 85. Bring this there. Maybe 84. This could be up and over and down to get it to kind of slide off there. And maybe we'll delete that one. A little bit more down, over. Let's try and blend those moves here. Get it there, delete this one, delete that. Alright, it still has some crust in it, but let's look at it from this angle and see how it reads. Definitely some pops there. So what place is that from? Let's look at the angle here. Try and get that over a little bit more. Back. just yet, but something that blends a little bit better. And this should be probably up a little bit more. Rotate it down. Elbow, maybe that elbow should be up a little bit more. And key that one. A little bit more like this. Again, try and get it so that and I think also that fingers should, let's delete that one and put our IK weight at 0 here. And maybe have a little more drag down there. Let's see where we're at. Yeah, that feels a little better. Maybe a little bit more drag down in the fingers. So let's get the tips here. Flatted there. Little down. And there. Just try and get that blending of the peel off a little bit better. And get that thumb down a little bit. Again, let's take that one and take our fingers to hold them till about 84, maybe 83. And bring that up a little bit. Again, up a little bit more. Oh, it feels like it's really peeling off there. And maybe we'll delete this one. Okay, and let's watch that. And let's bring that. Again, we want to end up here. That still works okay. Maybe we'll drag the fingers a little bit more down here. I'll try and blend these poses a little bit more. Okay, it's a little bit better. And again, let's try and get these fingers working a little bit better. this one. Yeah, let's get a better pose here, because this is going to be our next main kind of key hand pose there. Still like the idea here, but I think we could push it a little bit more. I keep the same idea for that hand pose, but make it a little bit better. So we've got this one. Delete that. Delete that. Let me get there. And let's keep that arm here. Go and swing it out a little bit more. Get out a little bit more. Still look at our silhouette so that we're not going through there too much. Little bit of a pop there. So let's look a couple frames more and just see how the whole movement of the body works there. I think we'll try and do a little bit better blending of the movement of the body. So I like it here. There. So let's delete that one. Let's maybe delete this one too. Just a big pop there. So what is it? What's getting us there? Maybe it's the head and the neck. Delete that one. Yeah, let's look at the translate Y here on the hips. Still want to keep this silhouette working a little bit better though. Again, let's go key that. I feel like this needs to get out of there a little bit more. Yeah, let's keep this foot on the ground. One more frame. Still feels like there's just too much movement there. Alright, let's do a play blast and just see how it's feeling here. Alright, it's okay. I think we can still tweak the timing a bit more. And also that 89 pose needs to blend a little bit more between the next one so it doesn't pop up so much. But we got to keep our silhouette in mind. Alright, so let's take a look at this arm and see how it's working through here. I think we need to get this foot up a little bit more and over. Just so that it's not cutting through it. And let's bring the head down a little bit more here as well. so our silhouette still works. Maybe keep this foot up a little bit higher as well. Just make sure we're still keeping our silhouette working there. And still feel like I'm just going to need to manually go in there and tweak everything here so we get that to be a little bit higher. And I think the neck is a little broken here too. Maybe it's some rotate Z that we need to favor in here. Let's see, maybe rotate, just manually do it here. And the neck as well. Try and get that neck to be a little bit more like this. So we want that arc to still work through here. To be a little more like this and a little bit higher. So it blends in well. Again, I think we could probably throw another frame in there too. That might help us a little bit, but I don't know if we're gonna do that right now. Okay, let's do another play blast and just see if it reads. Still think we could probably use an extra couple of frames in there, but at least the movement feels like it flows from one thing to the next rather than having it kind of pop there. Okay, so let's look at this swing here on this arm. We want it to be a little bit further down here. Can we look at the spacing of that sword? Feels like it follows through okay. We'll still drag this hand a little bit further back there. And let's see. Let's go ahead and bring that down a little bit there too. And bring this up. So you get a little bit of a arc in there as well. Alright, let's do another play blast and see if that works. Alright, feels like there's a flow through it now, which is a little bit nicer. And I think I want this hammer to hit a little bit harder. I don't know, it's pretty... I think the only other thing we could do is maybe push it so it's a little bit more up like that. this could go a little bit further back. Again, this could be a little bit further up. Keep the arc through that swing as well. Maybe push the translate Z on the hips a little bit further here, forward. And that could be there, but let's maybe slip this off a little bit. And give it the finger controller here, just so that we can stretch all that out a little bit more. Feels a little funky here, so let's keep tweaking it. Controller again. And get that little finger in there. And get that thumb over. And get this down a little bit more. And over. And a little bit over X as well. Hit about 92. Delete that one. Again, it still feels a little off here. Let's tweak the fingers there a little bit more. And try and get a little more of a grip there if we can. Even if it's just a little bit. And maybe we'll just push the shoulder a little bit more. Up and over. Still got some room there. Okay. And we can grip that back a little bit more. Get that a little bit tighter. I think that should feel a little bit heavier. Let's see. Alright, it's looking a little better. Still needs a bunch more polish, but I feel like there's some weight in that jump and a little more balance in that pose over there. weight in the hit, and we blended the movements a little bit better in there. Still needs a lot of work, but it's getting there. So before, I think we're getting close to our time here, so before we finish up, let's try and get these feet working a little bit better here. Gonna need to get that, how would we get that foot up and over there? Because it would chop through that. So let's see. Maybe we'll have it above it before there. And we'll get it down on the ground one frame sooner. Maybe we can't. That was probably the problem we were having before, because I think I wanted to do that before. But let's try and make it hit a little bit harder. Let's look at the translate Y's here. Let's drag the toe there, get some more rotate here. Okay, and we'll go in a little bit more, get some more toe drag there. Eventually we'll hit that one. Get some toe up here. And then it should flat down there, make it feel like it's hitting harder. Out that curve a little bit more on the translate Y. Look at our translate Z, make sure that's still working okay. Yeah, let's keep this foot on the ground a little bit more just to mix up the movement. There a little bit more. And maybe we'll do it so it just misses it. Let's go right like that so it doesn't have to pull back as far. Let's put that foot on the ground a little bit sooner. But let's not do ball roll. Let's have it land. No, I guess we could do ball roll. And then flat that out. Guess we can't do that much. It looks a little too broken. Okay, let's try and clean that up a little bit more. Still feels like it should have a little more of an arc to it. Get that toe dragging a little bit more there. Yeah, maybe we'll flat it out there. That'll work. Do a little bit of heel roll. Keep it flat there for a frame. So you get a little bit of that rock in the foot. Here, we'll do a little bit of that here too. It's a little more of an interesting pose, I guess. Do a little bit of rotate Y there, a little bit of knee twist. Maybe a little more rotate Y here as well. Just throughout, just to make it a little more interesting. And we'll have to keep the knee twist in a little bit more. Knee twist, keep that going here. And we'll keep that toe up there. Alright, let's do a play blast and see how that feels. Okay, I think it's a little more interesting, and I think we could probably give another frame before that ball roll hits that. It's a little poppy there, so let's grab that and then probably hit at about 94 instead of 93, just so we have another frame to let's go ahead and look at our translate Z's here, make sure those still work all right. I think this one in particular could be a little bit further forward just to blend the movements a little bit more. Yeah, let's see if that works a little better. This could maybe be even a little bit further back. Okay. All right. Well, I think we're hitting close to our time, so let's see how this works in the overall shot here. Still think we probably should throw another couple frames in that. It feels a little too quick, but it still works all right. So I'll do another play blast and we'll see how it's feeling over. Alright, I think that's working a little better. Still, we need some more good passes on this, but we're starting to break stuff up so it actually has some sense of weight and some varied posing and texture and everything with it. I think one more thing before we call it for today is I want to create a camera that just has one kind of camera move where we go from kind of a wider shot to a little more closer shot. So let's go ahead and do that. Again, we'll go ahead and save our file here, and we'll go ahead and we'll go panels, perspective, new camera here. So let's go ahead and make sure that we start off probably a little bit further than that, somewhere like that, and we'll set camera there. Then we'll zoom in since frames it all about there. And maybe we'll frame it even a little bit closer here. Okay. Probably need to be a little bit further back then. Okay, do something like that. It's not perfect, but just gives us a little bit of an arching feel to the scene, so we don't have such a wide shot. So let's do another play blast and see how that. All right, not a perfect camera, but it gives us a little bit more close up on some of that action there. It's a little bit better, I think. Still need a lot of stuff to polish up here, but we're starting to get there, starting to have a couple moments that actually feel a little more fleshed out. So let's take a look back at where we started. We're looking at the beautiful work of James Harren, and he said, all my best innovations have come from me failing and effing up. I think that that's such a wonderful, honest and true thing. You know, there's so many times that people think that there's, you know, oh, I'm no good, he has all this talent, I can't do it. It's about persevering and continuing each and every time that you fall, and continuing to get up and spend another day being okay with failing, and learning from those failures, learning what not to do, learning what to do, and enjoying the successes and sharing those together. So thanks a lot for hanging out with me. I love you guys lots. I think you're amazing. I hope that you carved out a little bit of time in your day to work on your own dreams. And I think we'll wrap it up because my brain's going a million miles a minute today. So I think we got some good work done. Definitely we're able to flesh out that jump back a little bit more. I feel like that works okay. The rest of it is another couple steps forward. So thanks again for all the likes and subscribes. Remember, if you ever have anything that you want an extra set of eyes on, or just some thumbs up or some encouragement, feel free down in the comments below. Always happy to do that. Try to get to everyone who subscribes to the channel, at least try and leave something that's motivating or anything too. So I urge you guys to subscribe if you haven't done that already, just so even if you never watched another one of my videos, maybe you'll remember this moment that we got to share together. And every time that you see that I put up a new video each and every day, it'll remind you to go off and work on your own dreams. So without further ado, I think we'll wrap it up. You guys are amazing. I love you lots. Remember, if you're watching this, you are the creative future. So go out there and make something. Use your imagination, use your creativity, and we will see you for some more animation, some more imagination, some more creation tomorrow.